In this video, we are going to find the peak elements in an array. Hello, I am Jagan from growwithdata. I am posting this video to share my knowledge in Python language with you. If this assists you in your interview preparation anyways, I will be happy. If you want to see the code used in this video, you can go to the YouTube channel growwithdata. You have the playlist. We are talking about the Python interview questions. Any video will have a description part. Go to the description and you can see the code link to GitHub. When you click on the link, it will take you to the GitHub page where you have all the code we discuss in this video. Okay, fine. Now let's go into the question in detail. So we are given a zero index array mountain. Your task is to find all the peaks in the mountain array. We have to return the array that consists of the indices of the peak values. So we are not going to return the element. We are going to return the index of that element in an array format. So what is a peak element? Peak element means any element which is greater than the element in the left side and the right side. If you see 1, it don't have any elements in the left side. So we can't consider 1 for the process. For 4, the left side is 1, the right side is 3. So it's greater than 1 and 3. So 4 is one of the outputs. So the output has to be a list. It's 4. Sorry, the index is 1, right? So 0, 1. And if you consider 3, it's not greater than 4, it's not greater than 8. If you consider 8, it's greater than 3 and greater than 8. So this is a valid element. So the index is 0, 1, 2, 3. So the output has to be 1 and 3. 5 you can't consider because there is no element in the right side. So basically the first element in the left and the last element in the right can't be considered. The only elements are in between the first and the last, and you have to make sure the elements in the left and right are smaller than the element. Okay, so this is the process. Let's start with a simple range function, okay, and then we can address this question. For people who are new to this video series, I can explain what a range is and how it works, and then we can go into the exercise. For example, you want to write a sequence from 0 to 10. What do you do? For I in range 0 to, we say to 11, okay? I tell you why. So when you give the range 0 to 11, it will consider the starting point and it will consider the number previous to the ending point. So if you say 11, it will consider only 10. You don't have to give 0. If you give only 11, it starts with 0 and goes one number before that. You don't consider the number you give, okay? So it starts with 0 and go till 10. If you explicitly say what is the starting point, you have to say 0. Then it comes from here. If you want to get from 2, you just say 2 to 11. So it starts with 2 and ends at 10. You don't consider 11. If I want to get only the even numbers like 2, 4, 6, 8, then you can put the skip value. So how many numbers you have to skip? So you get 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. If you want to get the negative part of it, for example, you want to get from 10 to 2. So you say from 10, you say till 1 and say minus 2. So it will start with 10 and it increments by negative 2 and it goes a number before 1, that is 2. So this is the value. So you can give only the final element 10. So by default it starts with 0, or you specify the starting point and the ending point, and you can give the skip value. If we say 3, it is 2, 5 and 8. So this is the basic range function. Now how to use this in our exercise? We can take this input, our favorite, create a function, define grow with data. The input is mountain. First we declare a variable repo result, which is going to be the output, and we find the length of the input array. mountain. Now we are going to use the range function. For I in range, we should not consider the first element, right? So first and the last should not be considered. So we say range is from 1, not from 0. And then the length of the array is n. But you should not consider the last element. So it should be minus 1. So if you print on the index part, let's see what's going to show up. Let's call the function. So it will create this is 0, take 1, 2, 3, and it stops before that. So you don't consider the 5. Now what should I do? If the mountain, the input array of I should be greater than the previous value, I minus 1, and the input array I should be greater than the next element, right? So if I take the index 1, the index 1's value should be greater than 0 and greater than 2. So that's what we are trying here. If both are greater, so both the values are smaller than the middle value, then result dot append, we have to show the index. Now we return the parameter. So you get 1 and 3. So 0, 1 is 4, 2, 3 is 8. So we get 1 and 3. 1 and 3 is the peak elements in this array. Good. If you are going to have one more test case, let's use the assert function and see if it works. So this one we tried, we have 2, 4, 4. Here we can't consider 2, we can't consider 4. The only element is this 4, which is greater than 2, but not greater than 4. So the output should be a blank array. So it works in both the cases. So this is a very simple for loop. Only thing is you have to understand how the range function works. So basically when you do the loop, I prefer the enumerate function. We talked in the previous videos, right? In this case, it might not be the right function to use, but let's see how this enumerate works. Okay. So for people who are new, let's show how the enumerate works. Okay. You can create this same way for index val in enumerate mountain. It will return the index position and the value. Print index and val. So the enumerate function, it will takes the array, it will read the index 0th position and the value 1, and the first position value 4. It returns the index and the value. If I want to use that, so instead of range, I say enumerate the array. So here we have to check, it should not be the first, it should not be the last. So what should I do? So index and val, I ignore the first. If I equal to 0, the first index, or I equal to the length of this, but thing is I start with 0, but the length it's going to be 5, right? So if you say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, the index starts with 0 and ends with 4. But when you say length, it's going to show 5. So we say I equal to length of the array minus 1. That is the case. We just continue the loop. Don't proceed further. Okay. Now we have to check the condition. If instead of this, we can replace this with value, but this previous and next, we can't do anything. We can just check that. Only thing is, instead of the current element, we can just replace that. If that is the case, you store the index value and then show the result. Same thing happens. So only advantage is we don't have to call the array and get the element. We directly give the value as val, right? So this is the advantage of enumerate. But stepwise, I feel that range is the suitable function to be used rather than enumerate. Okay, so here we have the length of n. So instead of finding the length of n, we simply say n minus 1, right? So it works the same way. Or we had just remove this and then you can directly use the length, okay? Because you're using the only one place, so it should be fine. So we can't do much in this exercise, right? So we have a small array and this for loop and the if condition. So only way you can impress the interviewer is let's try to put that in a single line of code, right? That's our one of the favorites, right? So how will you do that? Let's take this one, right? Okay. Now let's see if we can do the for loop and the if condition in this straight line. So we don't have to try this. We just say result equal to, okay? Result equal to, here we say for, take this for and put it here, and then we have the condition if this is if, then you just say I, right? I is the index position. So result is this. You don't have to do this. Now n minus 1. So we haven't declared n. N is the length, right? So we can simply say length of mountain, or we can copy our n equal to this. Let's try with this, fix the error, and then you do it. So we get the n, and then we use n here. That's why it shows the error. If you don't want to have a variable declared, you just want to have a single line of code, instead of n, you can use length of mountain minus 1. It works the same way. Even if you don't want to have a variable declared and then return it, simply say return this. Even that works. So instead of having multiple conditions like for, if, all that, you can directly do that in a straight line. Okay, this looks more simple, right? So when the interviewer sees this, he'll be impressed that, okay, this guy knows some Python, right? Great. Now I will introduce one more function called zip. So see how the zip works. We have this mountain part. You say for a in, I say zipping mountain. Okay, I'm getting this array, and the next one I start with the next position. Okay, the first one will start with the 0th element. The second one I start with the first element, and the next one I start with the second element. Okay, let's see how this works. Print a. Oops, I have to close this. So what I do, I am taking 3 arrays. One with the actual input, second starting with the first position, the third starting with the second position, and I am zipping it. Means I am just combining all in one part. So what does the first one takes 1, 4, 3. The second one takes 4, 3, 8. The third one takes 3, 8, 5. Right? So you don't have to do multiple conditions. We just zip and then do it in one way. How will I split this? So I have 1, 4, and 3, but I have only one variable assigned. So how will I split this? I simply say a comma b comma c, and you can print a comma b comma c. So here is all combined. Now I am splitting that into 3 different variables, a, b, and c. Now I can check print a is less than b and b is greater than c. That means the middle value, right? So if you take 1, 4, 3, the middle value is greater than the left side and the right side. If that is the case, Let's see, it's true, false part. So let's print the elements and sorry, there's a dot and the value. So if it's 1, 4, 3, 4 is greater than 1 and 3. 3 is not greater than 4, so it's false. 8 is greater than 3 and 5. So what we need? We need this, we need this. So this one works. But how will I find the index? What I can do? The enumerate part, right? How we tried? It's give you the index and the value. There's a small trick. Let's talk about it. So the enumerate of this array, I can get the index and the value. So if I say index and the value. So the 0th index, it takes 1, 4, 3. So the middle value has to come, right? So the middle value's index is whatever the index plus 1. So if it's 0, that means the first index is what we are checking. The index is 1, we are checking the second index position. The index is 2, we are checking the third index position. So just to make sure we have the I, but we are trying the I plus 1th position, right? So how will you do it? Instead of all this, what do you do? If let's have this in place, we say if A less than B greater than C, then you do result dot append the index plus 1. Okay, you declare a function def grow with data mountain result equal to list for the print if condition append and you return the result. Now when you call the function grow with data, you should return 1 and 3. Let's see. So it returns 1 and 3. So what we did, we first zip in 3 arrays. One starts with the actual input, second starts with from the index position 1, third starts with index position 2. We zip all that and then we use enumerate to find the index and the zipped value, and we check if the middle value is greater than the A and C. If that is the case, you just append the index plus 1 because the first index will be looking at the A. So we are looking at B, so it's I plus 1. If you want to test the other cases, we copy this and we go for it. So we tried 4 different ways. The first one is we use the range function and we showed how the range function works. Second is enumerate. We talked about how the enumerate works. The third one, we put everything in the single line of code. And the fourth, we introduce something called a zip function. Right? Hope you like this video and thanks for watching.